It's a quick fix.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fix the Family. My name is Raylan Alamo and we are bringing you Truth Without Compromise for the Family Blog Edition. Today, August 6, 2015, on location here in South Louisiana. No rain today, but still today some more good news for you that I want to share with you. Just a little bit of my own personal study. I like to just keep things fresh and continue on with my studying. There's a website out there from a really good devout priest, wishes to remain anonymous, so I'll grant him that. But his website is called Romans 10:17, and I'm going to attempt to post a link on this video for you to go to, because it's a very good homily that he gave that he called spiritual contraception. Spiritual contraception is the name of that he gave that homily, and it's a bit of a deceptive title. I don't think there's any intent on being deceptive, but it was to me when I went to listen to it. But the point that I got from it, that I really believe we could all take away from it, was that basically the reason for the crisis in the church right now is our fault. It is the Catholic lay people's fault of the crisis that we are now facing in the Catholic Church. And to me, that gives us a lot of hope, and I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, let's look at how the priest lays out for why this is our fault. Because the traditionalists, who I affectionately call the trads, those that think they know better than the Pope, those who think they know better than all the priests and bishops, or how all the priests and bishops are doing everything wrong, those trads, they have this standard explanation of what's going on, that the liberals in the 60s, the liberal priests and bishops hijacked the council and the Second Vatican Council, and then they acquired all the positions within the church to be able to implement all these changes, and made things purposely vague in the documents, and on and on and on. We've all heard it all before. And the priest here says, if that's the case, then God's not really in charge of the church. Is this God's church or not? And so he does a very good job of explaining that and refuting that argument. Because he goes on, it's on the Feast of Christ the King that he's given this homily, and he talks about Pius XI, 40 years before the council, was talking about the condition of society and the condition in which Catholics were living, when supposedly everything was just so wonderful in the church, especially in the United States of America. We had great Catholic school system. We had full seminaries. We had full convents. But as he says, there was disease within the church that just hadn't manifested itself to that. And I have my own explanation of, this very much coincides with that century when, St. Michael prayer and Satan was allowed to roam about the world. And he was spreading this disease. It's the duplicitous nature that all the people had, and still many have today. So he quotes Gregory the Great, saying that the way God works is he gives people, the Catholic faithful, the shepherds that we deserve. And it is the condition of the crisis of the church today isn't just God allowing it, permitting it. It is his, and I'm paraphrasing, but it is his direct will that the church go through this crisis as a punishment for the way people have lived and the way we've handled the church, and to prevent us from falling deeper into the sin that was already there. And so why is that good news? Why does that give me hope? Well, that gives me hope because if it's our fault, then we can make a difference. If it's the priests and bishops' fault, then we can't do anything about it. But if it's our fault, we can. how could we possibly do anything about the condition of the church? Well, really we can. It's just like this. Be solidly, authentically Catholic. Because the problem prior to the council, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, was that people were Sunday Catholics. They live like the rest of the world all week long, go to confession on Saturday, go to Mass on Sunday, and then live like the rest of the world the rest of the week, and do it all over again. Aren't we supposed to, when we go to confession, be sorry for our sins, and have a firm purpose of amendment? Isn't that the case? Okay, so what was supposed to happen, and I kind of got this explanation from a bishop. I believe it was my bishop. I'd questioned him on something, and that's something else we could do as Catholics, being good Catholics. We, as Bishop Sheen said, we need to ensure that our priests are good priests and our bishops are good bishops. So we need to ask questions when something doesn't look right. So I asked one of those questions, and I believe it was the bishop that wrote back to me, and he says, well, you're talking about, only 25 or 20% mass attendance. You want to talk about when there was better mass attendance prior to the council? But you know what they did? At the homily, a lot of the men would duck out the back of the church and go to the bar across the street. Yeah, good mass attendance, but were they really at mass? So it's the duplicitous nature. Are we really trying to be Catholic all the time? Is the faith working its way into our lives, changing the way we live and affecting the way we live? And can people look at us in our day-to-day lives and say, that's a serious Catholic man, a Catholic woman, a Catholic family? So be devout. Stand as a witness. It's not so much as saying, go tell everybody what they're doing wrong. Be a witness of what a Catholic really is. You want to be a witness? Have a boatload of kids, and everywhere you go, you'll witness. If you got 5 or 6 kids following you around you, everywhere you go, people will notice and say, that's a serious Catholic man. They don't know the faith? Homeschool them and teach them at home instead of sending them to you don't know where, or what they're going to learn wherever they go. Make sure they learn the faith. We have a problem with Mass. I know people that go out of their way to make sure that their children and themselves are attending a reverent Mass. It doesn't necessarily have to be Latin, but it should be reverent. Okay? I prefer the Latin Mass, but that's beside the point. I know people that in their even though they don't go out of the way, at the parish where they go to that's close by, they serve, they help that priest. They work in that church. And then they say, Father, I'm serious about how I'm raising my kids. And if things aren't done a certain way, or if we don't have reverence here, we're going to have to go somewhere else. And that's the kind of challenge, that's the kind of things we need to hold our priests accountable for. Pray as a family. Have meals together. Pray the rosary daily together as a family. There's nothing in the condition of the church now that's stopping faithful Catholics from doing these things. So it is. It really is great news. It's up to us. It's up to us. We're enduring a great chastisement. We are. With the condition of the church the way it is today. But all we can do is what we can do. And there's a lot we can do. We can make a difference. We can make a difference by the way we practice our faith on Sunday and all the rest of the week, because that was the disease that was within the church at the time prior to and leading up to the council, and the reason why they had the council. So there you go. There you have it. A bit of good news for you today. It's our fault. So that means we can do something about it. Take that with you. Share it with your family. Go out and make a difference. Improve yourself in your daily life, in your walk with God, and how you practice your Catholic faith. Come back and see us next time here at Fix the Family. My name is Raylan Alamon. God bless you.